Hi, and welcome back to the Conscious Movement community. For today's video, we're going to do a little bit of a non-traditional warm-up. It'll kind of look like an aerobics class from like the 80s for a little bit, and then we'll get into the yoga practice. So I'm always encouraging to start to wake up the muscles in the backs of the shoulders, because a lot of the stuff that we do in yoga to build strength is all done around pushing movements. So we develop a lot of strength in our chest, which can start to bring your shoulders forward and down. So we're gonna do this, when we do this little warm up, we'll be conscious of turning on the muscles at the back of the shoulder and opening up our chest muscles. And then we're gonna do like a couple of stretches after that and then go into the flow. I think you'll like it. And then we're gonna do some other stretches that I've been finding very beneficial for my hips and whatnot. Okay, so I'm going to recommend that you have a foam roller to back bend over when we do a little bit of thoracic extension, a couple of blocks, perhaps a strap, depending on your flexibility, and then you need a wall at a certain point. I'll ask you to go over to the wall. Not right now, don't worry. Okay, so let's begin standing on your 2 feet. And with your feet hip distance apart, just start by going side to side, picking your feet up and down. And as you're doing this, I want you to visualize your hips releasing straight down to the earth. So through your pelvic roots, you're releasing straight down. And then imagine that someone was pulling you up through the crown of your head. And then start to bring your knees up to hip height, feeling the joint, the thigh bone moving in the socket. And then we're going to add an arm movement to start to warm up the shoulders as we do this. So first take your arms forward, then out to the side, and then up and overhead. Forward, to the side, up and overhead. And then you can time it with your legs if it makes it easier. I know sometimes people are like, what kind of witchcraft are you doing? Stepping and swinging your arms at the same time. So if it's confusing for your brain, you just go like that. "30 more seconds of this." And another great thing is this is a great way to get your heart rate up so that your heart starts pumping, blood, fluid is flowing better through your body. And then you're like less prone to straining in your joints, and the muscles should feel like they move a lot better once your heart rate is up. Okay, and then we're going to do butt kicks with your heels. So like you're trying to kick your butt with your heel, obviously. And then we're going to do leg swings. So bring your knee up to hip height, and then like you're sweeping the floor with your foot. Swivel back and forth. And then with a straight leg. Again, imagine you're being pulled up through your crown so you have good posture while you're doing this. And change legs. And then make the straight leg sweep. Okay, now let's get into the shoulders. So bring your knuckles to your temples, open up your chest, but try not to push your rib cage forward. So if I show from the side, my middle stays in. As you exhale, bring your elbows in. As you inhale, open up your chest and feel the muscles in the back of your shoulder start to engage to help to spread your chest. Bring the elbows in. Inhale, open up. Now as you exhale, bring the elbows in and sit back like you're sitting into a chair. Inhale, come up to stand, elbows wide. And we'll do 10 of these. Try to keep your knees in line with your second, third toe. Don't let them cave in. Good, then come just off of your mat. And ideally you should be able to slide your foot when you do this one. So we're gonna slide the left leg out to the side and then take your arms out to the side, turn the thumbs up, and feel the back of the shoulder turn on as you hold there and then come back up. It's kind of tricky. Slide your leg out, come back up. If you're on the carpet, you could use paper plates to do this, or you can just step your foot and pretend like you're sliding. And change sides. Okay, now we're going to work on going into a lunge. So step your left foot back into a lunge, lower your knee down, and then take your arms up, turn the thumbs out, externally rotate the arms, and feel your strong shoulder turn on to support your arms. And then stand and change legs. And we'll keep going side to side. So a great way to turn on your glute med and your quads to help to support your spine. Make sure that you have the good posture as you lower, like you're being pulled up through your crown. And then when you go to step back up, don't let the knee cave in. Keep the knee pointing straight ahead. Feel your strong butt support you to come up. Feel that right outer butt turn on when you stand. Oh yeah, I'm getting the arms messed up. It's hard to talk and do it at the same time. All right, just 10 more minutes of this. Just kidding. Okay, then take your arms out to the side and rotate the arms externally. Make little circles. You remember, this is what you did in PE class when you were in 8th grade. You had to do arm circles. And then turn the thumbs the other way. Make little circles. And then our very last one, tip yourself over about 30 degrees and make big circles with your arms. Oh, look, there's the nosy neighbor. She's creeping, wondering what I'm doing up here. Remember her? She's nice. And then change the direction. What if she watches? All right, good. Then stand up at the top of your mat. I don't think she believes that I really make yoga videos here. I think she thinks something weird is going on. Okay, nothing weird, just yoga videos. Stand up tall at the top of your mat. Roll your shoulders open. And then turn your palms open and feel the rotation of your shoulder, the biceps spinning out, the chest opening. Then spread your arms straight out to the side and feel that opening, but also feel in between your shoulder blades, the bottom of the blades spreading. Now turn the palms up, feel the opening of the shoulder, but also in between the blades spreading. Take them up a little higher, about 6 more inches, feel the blade spread. Now wait, is your pelvis coming forward? Pelvis back over the ankles, middle in, pull up through your crown, take the arms all the way up, hold strong there. So it should be a whole body exercise to raise your arms up if you do it well. Then slowly take your, and you should feel like, wow, I've never felt my body having to work so hard just to stretch my arms up. The opposite is just like, I'm not gonna name any names from my classes, but sometimes we just get this arm situation. No, don't be doing that. We're gonna turn on the body, press down through your feet one more time, spread the arms, rotate externally, raise your arms up 6 inches. 6 more inches, keep the collarbones broad, bottom of the shoulder blades broad, go all the way up. And now, little micro bend in your knees, tip from your pelvis like a swan dive, lead with your heart, and fold forward. As you inhale, slide your hands up your shins to get length. As you exhale, fold. Press down into your feet. Inhale, come all the way back up. Spreading, creating the space for the blades in the chest. Exhale the arms out to your side. Inhale your arms up. Spread blades, collarbones. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold deeper. Last one, press into your feet. Inhale, come all the way up. And release your arms down at your side. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, flat back. Now step into plank pose. Here we go. Turn on that core, push down into your hands, pull your middle up. You ready for this? Now keep the collarbones and the tops of the blades broad, blades on the back but belly in. Then bring your right knee to your right elbow. Change, left knee to left elbow. Change, right knee to right elbow. And then let's start to pick up the pace, but you really got to keep your abs pulled in. Plug the low abs in. And let's go to the outside of the elbow. And then we'll go cross, left elbow, left knee to right elbow, right knee to left. And then really pick up the pace, like you're hopping. But still stabilize in your upper body. Don't let the blades creep up into your neck. Keep the collarbones broad. Now go to the knee to its own elbow, but outside. And then knee to the chest, really fast. And release. Set your knees down. Lower your chest down. Stretch your arms all the way forward. Then turn the thumbs up. Press the pinky finger side of the hand down. Engage your abs. And raise your right arm 1 inch. And raise your left leg 1 inch. Buttocks out of your back. Change sides. Left arm, right leg. Change sides. Change sides. Change sides. Then press both feet down, come back into cactus position, turn on the external rotators. Inhale, slowly lower down. And come back up. Inhale, slowly lower down. Exhale, back up. Inhale, slowly lower down. Feel your strong back muscles turn on the backs of the shoulders. Now lift and hold for 10, 9, lift up higher. Lift those arms, lift the wrist up higher. Turn the thumbs up to the ceiling, squeeze the back of the shoulder. Then stretch your arms straight back behind you, keeping the thumbs turned up. And lower your chest down. Stretch back into child's pose. And come into downward dog. Now in downward dog, lift your heels up high away from the floor. Stretch your heels down low towards the floor. Heels up high away from the floor. Heels down low towards the floor. Walk your feet forward to the front of your mat. Inhale into the flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up, raise your arms. Exhale, Samastiti. Inhale, raise your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Step back into plank pose. Okay, now instead of pulling the knees up, now we're going to try to hold your Tadasana line. So think hips reaching towards the ankles, pull up through your crown, and then plug your abs in and raise your right leg up just an inch. Change legs, raise the left leg up an inch. Change legs. Change legs. Set that down, hold there, and then raise both legs an inch. Wait a minute, you can't do that. Set your knees down onto the floor. Hands under your shoulders, round your back and look back at your navel. Inhale, arch your back with your chest through. Exhale, round your back, look back. Inhale, arch through. One more time. Come into neutral, opposite arm leg stretch. Stretch the right leg back, left arm forward. Change sides. Change sides. Don't let your middle sink. Don't let the hips twist. Keep going side to side. Keep the neck tall so that your upper trap doesn't crunch up into your ear. Now hold with that arm and leg extended, and then open them out to the side. Come back to center, challenging your core without letting your hips wiggle or twist to the side. Open up. Stay long through the midline. Back to center. Last one, open up. And forward again. Lower your hand and your knee. Change sides. Open out to the side. And back to center. Open to the side. Back to center. Open out to the side. And come back to center. Lower your hand and your knee down and stretch back into dog. Shift into plank pose. Lie down onto your belly. Stretch your arms all the way forward. Press the tops of the feet down. Turn your thumbs up. Rotate externally. Now as you engage the buttocks, frame the buttocks towards the heels, but groins up to the ceiling, inner thighs up. Raise both legs up an inch. Bend the elbows back into cactus. Stretch the arms straight back, heart open. Place the hands next to the side ribs. Roll into cobra, upward facing dog. Roll back down, press up into plank. Stretch back into down dog. Walk your feet to the front of your mat. Inhale into a flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up, raise your arms. Exhale, Samasthiti. Inhale into chair pose, bend your knees, sit your hips back, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Step back into plank pose, one leg at a time. Hold there. Then lower slowly into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward dog. Raise your right leg up from the inner thigh. Shift into plank pose, pull your knee up to your chest. Step your foot all the way up by your thumb. Drop your back knee down to the floor, point your toes back. Let your hips settle down as you lift up through the front of your pelvis, raise your arms up. Bring your hands back down. Curl the back toes, lift the back knee. Then plant your left hand flat. Spin your belly, spin your ribs, chest. Take that arm up. Now push down into that left hand evenly and lift up on the front of the shoulder. Bring your hand back down. Step back into plank pose. Take a vinyasa or stretch right back into downward dog. Raise your left leg up from the inner thigh. Exhale, bring the knee to the chest, pull up. Step your foot up by your thumb. Lower your back knee down. Inhale, raise your arms up, let the hips settle, pelvic roots release down as you grow tall through your ribs to your spine. Bring your hands back down. Curl the back toes under, lift the back knee up. Then plant your hand flat, spin your ribs, and take the left arm up. Bring your hand back down, step back into plank pose. Take a vinyasa or stretch right back into downward dog. Look in between your hands, step or float all the way up to the front. Inhale into a flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale into chair pose, bend your knees, sit your hips back. Stand and release your arms at your side. Inhale, chair. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Step back and lower into chaturanga. Inhale into upward facing dog. Exhale into downward dog. From downward dog, shift into plank pose. Lower all the way down onto your belly. Now let's do that little stretch for the chest that I was talking about earlier. Spread your arms out to the side. Now roll the front of the right shoulder away from the floor, and then slide your left hand towards you, and then start to lower your right ear towards the floor. And if you're more flexible, you could maybe bring this left leg up and over behind you, but keep opening up through your right chest into your right hand. Come back to center and change sides. Come back to center. Then bring your hands next to your chest, roll your chest open. Hold here, come up into upward facing dog. Stretch back into downward dog. From downward dog, step your right foot up by your right thumb. Set up your back heel for warrior one. Hug your hip in, lift up from your belly, come up strong through your core. Bring your hands down. Step back and lower into chaturanga. Inhale into up dog. Exhale to down dog. Step your left foot up to your left thumb. Set up your back heel. Lift your belly, come right up through the midline. Bring your hands back down. Step back into downward dog or take a vinyasa. Bend your knees, look forward, step or float up to the front of your mat. Inhale into a flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale into chair pose, bend your knees, sit your hips back, raise your arms up. Stand and release your arms at your side. Then from mountain pose, as you root down through the center of your heel bones, bring your right heel up onto the inside of your left thigh. Join your palms together. And once you're steady, raise your arms up overhead. Rotate your outer upper arms forward and feel the space for your blades, your collarbones. Then slide your hands behind your head into a reverse prayer position. Feel the neck tall and make sure that your waist and your hips aren't sinking forward. Release your arms And change legs. Bring your left heel up onto the inside of your right thigh. Raise the arms up overhead. Then bring your palms together, slide the hands behind the head. And release. Lower your leg down. Inhale, raise your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale into a flat back. Step back into downward dog or take a vinyasa. Then step your right foot up by your right thumb. Turn your back heel flat onto the floor and put your right hand onto the inside of your foot. I'm gonna go for the tall block on this one. I'd recommend that or even up higher on your fingertips to get your waist to start to lengthen. So feel the two sides of your waist get equally tall, pulling up through the line of your back ankle. Then take your left arm up to the ceiling. Spread across your chest. Now internally rotate that arm, slide it behind your back to your outer hip. Make sure that your right knee is tracking with your center ankle, second, third toe. Then lift from your belly, come up, take your right arm up. So it's single arm, warrior two. Then flip that palm up, reach it up to the ceiling. Release the right outer buttock down as you grow tall through your right side rib. Now straighten your right leg. And as you reach into the four corners of your foot, make sure your right thigh is turned as you reach out for Trikonasana. So feel with your hand on the outer buttock, you can feel the pelvis tip, and then place your hand down. Reach down into the four corners of your feet, and then pull through your crown straight out through the line of your big toe. Then spin your belly, release your left arm from behind your back, and take it straight up. Bring your left hand down, step back into downward facing dog, or take a vinyasa. Step your left foot up, turn your back heel flat, and put your left hand onto the inside of your foot. So it's not about how low you could go. Like, I'm not interested. I could put my hand flat on the floor and whatever, but I lose the line. And it's all about trying to get the line. So sometimes people think like, oh, like I'm advanced at yoga, I don't need a block. And you're an idiot. No, I don't mean that. But the intelligent practitioner is looking for the lines of energy. So whatever you have to do to get that. Take the top arm up. Then we'll internally rotate the arm and slide it behind the back to bring the hand to the outer hip. Bring the knee right over top of the ankle. Then press to your feet as you lift your belly up. Come up into single arm Virya 2. Flip your palm and come into reverse warrior. Then straighten your left leg. Keep the thigh turned as you go and reach out into Trikonasana. Take your right arm up. Breathe all the way down into the bottom of your lungs. Fill your whole rib cage with lungs. Then bring your hand back down. Step back into downward dog or take a vinyasa. Look in between your hands, step, walk, or float up to the front of your mat. Inhale into a flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale into chair pose, bend your knees, sit your hips back and raise your arms. Stand and release your arms at your side. Step your right foot back about 4 feet. Spread your arms out. Turn your left leg in slightly, turn your right leg all the way out. Bend your right knee. Okay, well now let's try. Since I made the crack, people were trying to be more flexible, whatever. So I don't want to neg trying to go lower. Let's see if we can go a little lower in this side angle now that we've done a couple externals. So releasing your hip crease back and in, feel the length of your waist, but keep pulling your waist. And in fact, hook your forearm to your knee and elongate the right side waist. And then without losing any of that length, could you put your fingertips down? Oh, it's so close. Oh, yeah. Keep that length. And then take your left arm over your ear. I feel like I need a little tiny block. Then press into your feet, come back up. Right leg straight, reach out for Trikonasana. Bend your knee and step up, Ardha Chandrasana. Bend your knee, come back, Trikonasana. Press through your feet and come up. Turn your legs to the other side. Okay, let's try to go a little deeper. Bend the knee, feel the hip crease release back, start to lean out over your leg. Now hook that forearm. This is one that my teacher Manuso Manas used to teach. Hook the forearm, keep your waist long, and then without collapsing the waist, start to put the hand down. I think I established I was on the flat block. I think once I see in the mirror, it might be a different story. Take the arm all the way over. Press through your feet and come back up. Straighten your leg and reach into triangle. Bend your knee and step into Ardha Chandrasana. And back into Trikonasana. Press through your feet, come up to stand. Turn your toes and so your feet are parallel. Now if your shoulders are tight, you might want to have a strap or a towel. Take your hands behind your back and clasp your hands, or take the hands shoulder distance apart, roll the shoulders chest open without pushing your middle out, and then start to fold forward in between your legs. Then set your fingertips down. Inhale into a flat back. As you exhale, bend your right knee and walk your hands over to the right, stretching through your left inner leg, heart forward. This is my new favorite one. Instead of Malasana, I'm doing this one a bunch. I like it so much. Change sides. Go over to the other side. come back to center, and one more time, fold forward. Inhale into a flat back. Turn your left leg out, walk around to the front, and step back into downward dog, or take a vinyasa. Step your right foot for Vira 1. Inhale your arms up. Then bring your hands behind your back as you straighten your right leg, roll your shoulders open, start to lean out halfway out over your leg. Try not to let your shoulders collapse onto your chest. So feel your spine nice and tall, nice and long. Then lean into your right foot, and we're going to take that line into balance. Lift your front hip bones up towards your chest. Firm your left buttock towards your heel. Now try to raise that back leg up towards hip height. Bend your knee, and as smooth as you can, step back into Warrior 1. Straighten your right leg and fold forward out over your right leg. Come up onto your fingertips or your blocks and find a flat back. And then fold deeper. Step back into downward dog or take a vinyasa. Step your left foot up by your thumb. Set up your back foot. Inhale into Vira 1. Bring your hands behind your back, knuckles or reverse prayer. Straighten your leg and open up your chest. And then as you exhale, start to lengthen out over it. Now hold that length, chest open, spine tall, lean into your left foot, and raise your back leg up from your strong core. Bend your knee and step back. Inhale your arms up. Then straighten your leg and fold forward out over your leg. Inhale into a flat back. Hold there, or exhale, start to fold deeper. However deep you go, you want to feel that the whole spine is participating in the forward and down movement. If you can feel that like part of your spine is trying to pull back and up, then bring your hands up higher. Blocks, chair, whatever. Then step back into downward facing dog or take a vinyasa. Step your right foot up to your right thumb. Hug your right hip in, lift from your belly and come up into crescent. Bring hands to prayer, lean your chest out over your knee and twist, hook the left elbow to the knee. Then look down, put your hands down, step your back foot a little closer. Bring your right leg as straight as you can and find the flat back. However high up you have to come to do it. Blocks, chair, whatever. Then bring the left hand to the outside of the foot, right hand up onto your hip. Lift from your left side lower belly up towards your right shoulder. Pull out through the crown of the head, through the line of your right big toe. And then if you're steady, take your right arm straight up to the ceiling. Now hold here for 5 breaths, or if you have the length and it's going well, we'll take it into balance. Lean into your right leg, slide that hand a foot in front of your foot, and take your back leg up. bend your knee, slide your left foot back, step back into downward facing dog, or take a vinyasa. Step your left foot for crescent. Inhale, reach up. Bring your hands to prayer, lean your chest out and twist. Then look down, put the hands down, step your back foot a little closer as you straighten your left leg. Find the flat back, whatever it takes. Then put your right hand onto the outside of your foot, left hand up onto your hip. Now spin from the right side lower belly up to the left chest shoulder, open up. Reach straight out through your crown. Hold there, or lean into your foot, take your hand a foot in front on the inside and raise your back leg up. Then bend your knee and step back, downward facing dog, or take a vinyasa. Then from here, roll to the outside edge of your left foot. So feet together, roll to the outside edge of your left foot and take your right arm up. Side plank, or modified, drop your knee down. And change sides. Side plank, or modified with the knee down. Bring your hand back down, back into down dog. Walk your feet up to the front of your mat. Inhale into a flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale into chair pose, bend your knees, sit back. Stand and release your arms at your side. Next, we're going to work on Utthita Hasta. So if this is a pose that's difficult for you, you can practice this little variation. I'm going to show where I hook my foot up onto something. So based on your comments and your feedback, get lots of great suggestions from you guys. Someone said that they really struggle with the hand to big toe opening. So what you do is you just start by putting the foot on something that's not that strenuous for you, like whether it's a chair or whatever, and then try to get good posture. And then you see, like, if you can raise it a little bit up, you slide a block in between your heel and the thing, or a book or two. And then you'll just strap the foot and stand up tall. And then take the strap into just the left hand and we'll spin open. Now, if you can do this without, you don't need any props, no worries, just hold your big toe. But whichever one you're doing, I want you to see if you can find your mountain pose line again. So in other words, can you pull yourself right up over your left ankle? Then come back to center, drop the strap and take your arms up without your middle pushing forward. So we'll turn on the body to hold the arms up. Strong shoulders, broad in between the blades. And bring your arms down. Release that. You get a pretty nice opening that way when it's supported, and it teaches you to relax better in the stretch when you're trying it. Because there's a tendency when you take that big toe, like, so this is the way I learned to feel more at ease in it. My teacher would have me go a little higher each day, and then pretty soon it's easy to grab your big toe. Okay, so here we go. Stand up tall, whether you're holding your big toe or you're strapping like me. And then take both sides of the strap in the hand or right hand to the big toe. Spin open like we practiced in twisted triangle from your right side belly up to your left shoulder and open up. It feels so good not to struggle in a pose. So this is a great lesson for us. In each of our poses, we're looking for a sense of ease. If you can't find that sense of ease in the pose, then you need to prop and modify. And eventually, you'll be able to go deeper and deeper. If you keep struggling in all of your poses, you're going to be creating more tension. Come back to center. Take your arms up. Core engaged, strong deltoids. And bring your arms down. Bring your leg down. Okay, now let's just experiment and see if we can practice taking the big toe if it goes a little bit better. So reach onto the inside of your knee, stand tall, and then elevate that leg out in front of you. See how high you could take it. Release that. Change sides. Once you get your big toe, let your hip roots settle, grow tall, and then lift your big toe up towards your shoulder, up towards shoulder height. Release that. One more time. Inside of right knee, big toe, stand up tall. Now this time, open the leg to the side and then lift that big toe up to shoulder height. Compact your outer hips, pull up through your crown. And release. Change sides, left leg up, reach, take the big toe, hip roots down, stand up tall, and then lift that big toe out to the side, compact your outer hips, pull up tall through your crown, and release. Good job. Okay, inhale your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Feet outer hips distance apart, squat down into Malasana. What time is it? Oh, it's ab time. I scared Stacy. Pull your belly in and slowly lower your buttocks to the floor. Come up into boat. Now wait a minute, I want to make sure we really turn on the abs. So stretch your legs out, sit in Dandasana, grow tall up over your pelvic roots, then lean your torso back, plug your low abs in as you slide your heels towards you, and then from the lift of your low abs, lift your feet up. Ooh, now the abs are working way more. Take the arms forward. And then based on your hamstring flexibility, keep your abs plugged in and see if you could lift your feet up. Lower them down an inch and lift them up an inch. Down 2 inches, up 2 inches. Down 3, up 3, down 4, up 4, down 5, up 5, then lower down into low boat. Inhale your arms back. Exhale, crunch up to your knees. Plug those abs in. Bring one leg into table. Push the heel out, but plug the belly in. Change. Other leg into table. Push the heel out, keep the belly in. Rebend, bring both legs into table. Push one leg out, abs in, armpits squeeze in and down. Change sides. Pull your neck taller. Change sides. Change sides. And then both legs out. Abs pull in, abs pull in. Come back up into boat pose. Cross your legs. Plant your hands next to your hips or on blocks if you're vertically challenged in this. Lift the buttocks up. Squeeze your abs and then pull your feet up. Set your feet down, boat pose. Low boat pose. Squeeze the armpits, squeeze the abs in. Back up into boat pose. Cross the legs the other way. Abs pluck up, pull up. Lift your feet. Back down. Boat. Low boat. Legs straight up. Hands behind your head. Inhale the head down. Exhale, come up to the right ankle as you lower your left leg with the left hand. Change sides. And keep going side to side. Hug your knees into your chest. And set your feet down. Open up your arms to the side, like goalpost arms, and let your knees swivel over to the right. Change sides, knees to the left. Come back to center. Hug your knees in and roll yourself up to seated. Pick up and float back into chaturanga, or just make your way back by stepping. The pick up and float back, that's just like this. You just put your hands next to your hips. You do the pick up. Okay. So now from down dog, set your knees down. Put a block at the front of your mat. And then frame it with your pinky fingers with your palms turned up. Roll your inner shoulders towards your outer shoulders, which means turn from this inside of the armpit towards your outer shoulder. Rotate it externally, spin your biceps out. Now maintain that feeling way up in the shoulder joint. As you press down into your forearms, plug your abs in, curl your toes, and lift your knees up 1 inch. See if you can keep that rotation. And then, from your strong core, pull your hips all the way up. And then from your strong core, can you keep your hips up high and take your right leg up? And change legs. Good. Then lower both legs and hold, or go into balance. Walk the feet in, kick one leg up and then the other. We practiced that with Jessica. So you can go over to the wall and do it, or just hold. And then take child's. Okay, next inversion or inversion preparation is Shirshasana. So crown of the head goes onto the mat, hands interlocked, fingers to the webbing, elbows right underneath the shoulders. Press your forearms down, move your blades away from your head. Then curl your toes, using your strong core, pull your hips up, up, up. Bring the knees in, and then point the knees up to the ceiling. Engage your buttocks, lift it up towards the knees, and then take your legs straight up. All right, now headstand variation. If you'd like to try, turn your toes out and bring your legs into Baddha Konasana. Then from there, Upavista. Bring the legs straight up, and then take one leg into Upavista. Back up, other leg into Upavista. Keep your neck tall, don't sink into your neck. As soon as you feel yourself starting to sink into your neck, that means you're fatiguing, come down. Both legs up, lower the legs slowly to the floor. And take Child's. All right, let's take it to the wall. Take your mat over to the wall, and let's get ready to put marks all over our walls. Okay, it's good. If you're renting, make sure that you get one of those dry erase things. Okay, here we go. Right knee is gonna go to the wall. I had a senior moment there. Right knee right up against where the floor meets the wall. And you can see that the heel is just slightly to the outside of the hip, buttock. And then I bring my left foot up. Okay, so phase one, I'll just stay here down on the hands. Let my butt release towards the back of the knee. Let the quads start to stretch. And your pelvis might start to sink forward towards your hands as you release deeper into the stretch. You could stay there or lift the heel of the hand up. If you're feeling like it's not very much stretch, you come up onto your fingertips or even onto a block, or you can turn the block up a notch. But I feel that my quads and my hip flexor are a little too tight, and I start to borrow from my sacrum. Like I could feel my sacrum just pinching, and I could probably bring my hands all the way up onto here, but I would just borrow from my lower back instead of truly stretch my quads. So I'm just gonna stay low into that deep stretch I'm feeling in my quads. But if your quads are more open, you might not do what I do, so. Okay, now from here, slide your knee an inch away from the wall, swivel it inward so that it goes to the left, and then we'll come into this stretch variation. Little inner leg groin stretch. Spread the groins towards their own inner knees. Open up your sacrum, lower back. And release that. Bring your hips back towards your right knee. Left knee down. Change sides. Left knee goes up against the wall. Right foot forward. Oh, geez. Okay, start with the hands down. Breathe into it. Come up higher if necessary. And then slide your knee just an inch away from the wall. Swivel the foot in. Release the groins towards their own inner knees. And slowly release. Now put your hands down right underneath your shoulders with your knees under your hips, feet at the wall. Press down into your hands, rotate the inner arms to the outer arms, spin the inner armpits to the outer shoulders, but then plug your middle up, spread your blades on your back. Now keeping the blades broad, take mini down dog. Hold here in mini down dog with the shoulders stacked right over the heel of the hand, or bring one foot up to the wall. Plug your abs in, spread your blades, maybe both feet up. Hold there, or lift the hips right up over the shoulders and practice straightening the legs. Then set your feet back down and stretch back into Virasana, hero's pose. Then come into the foam roller stretch. You can come away from the wall now. Okay, so we're gonna take that foam roller and do a few back bends over it. So take it into your upper back, and as you inhale, just roll your heart over the roller. And as you exhale, come back up. Again, inhale, roll over. Exhale, back up. Last one we'll hold. Inhale, roll over. Make sure it's right in the sweet spot, right at the bottom of the blades. And then you could try stretching the arms overhead. You can take the arms a little wider with arms externally rotated. You could do cactus arms. Then bring the hands back behind the head and come up. Lie down on your belly. Bend your knees and reach back with your hands for your feet. Buttocks out of the lower back. Groins soft, groins released. Then start to roll your heart forward and use the press of your feet to open up your chest. And then see if you can draw the shins up a little higher if you need to come up higher. But if you can feel that you can't breathe, stop pushing and just be there and breathe. Release the legs. Stretch the legs back. And then roll into upward facing dog. Stretch back into downward dog. Then we'll come into Vajrasana. So with the feet close together, the toes curled under, set your knees down onto the floor, and then start to sit your butt back. Now, if you're more flexible, you could go right onto the heels. A little less flexible, you can take this intermediate step where you take a block or the foam roller in between your butt and your heels. This one's my favorite. I feel like I get a better stretch for the feet anyway. Then take your right hand onto your lower back, left hand behind your head. If you're more flexible, go for the clasp. If your shoulders are tight, then reach the elbows away from each other. Spread them like you're trying to pull them back towards the wall behind you, and then spread them away from each other. And then pretend like you're pulling, like you had a rope in between your hands and you're gently pulling it in opposite directions. Release that and change sides. Left hand onto your lower back, right hand behind your head. Elbows pull back in space without closing the neck. Reach the elbows away from each other and then pull the imaginary rope in opposite directions. Release that slowly. Oh. Jeez Louise. Then come back into Virasana. Walk your hands a foot behind you, roll your chest open, lift your heart, lift your hips. Lower your butt back down and twist to your right. Now you can always sit on a block or block in between your heels if it feels like it's too much pressure on your knees. Grow your crown tall up over your sit bones. Twist to the other side. And come back to center. Let's do some of my favorite finishing sequence. So sit with your buttocks elevated, the legs straight out, and then bring your right heel in towards you. Sit up tall, spin your left side belly up towards your right shoulder, wrap your left elbow around your knee, put your right hand behind you. Again, grow tall up over your sit bones. Feel your hip crease release down. Release and change legs. Hip crease down, spine tall. Come back to center and lie down onto your back. Bring your heels close to your buttock, feet hip distance apart. Then lift your hips up, press your upper arms down, open up your chest. Now you can hold here for 5 breaths or position your hands for Urdhva Dhanurasana and go up. Lower yourself back down and take a breath. Go back up, bridge pose, or position your hands for wheel, Urdhva Dhanurasana, not really wheel, upward bow is the actual name. Lower back down. Last one, go back up into bridge. Hold there, go into Urdhva Dhanurasana. I'm not showing the actual one. The actual one, you lift yourself up, come into the back bend. But I'm showing the tight shoulder one. If your wrist and your shoulders are really tight, you should just practice trying to get your hands flat and your elbows in, like I'm doing. All right, lower yourself back down. Gently bring your knees towards you. And take happy baby. Hug your knees in and roll up to seated. Sit with the legs wide apart. Let your groins and your thighs release down. Bring your left leg into Janu Shirshasana. Turn to face your right. And then start to stretch out any amount out over your right leg. Take a hold of the foot, or you can strap your foot and get a flat back. And then work on releasing the whole spine forward and down without straining into it. Go to where you feel the barrier and just be there and breathe. Time and smooth, steady breathing will create opening in the body. Pulling or jamming yourself will only create more tension and eventually lead to injury. Inhale back up. Change sides. Strap the foot and create space, or catch the foot and start to go forward. Then come back up. Now from here, you could go into single leg pigeon, which I don't like as much, but some of you guys might be into it. Or you can cross your legs and fold forward. Or if your hips are more open, you could stack your shins and fold forward. Come back up. Change the cross of the legs. And start to go forward. I always have to crack my toes when I do that one. Look for the opening. Don't try to force it. See if as you relax and breathe and keep the integrity, the intention of taking the whole spine forward and down, that then you could go deeper. But don't try to jam yourself. Come back up and stretch your legs out for Paschimottanasana or Halasana, plow. Now, I don't like to teach the full shoulder stand, which is where you actually get up onto the tops of the shoulders, Salamba Sarvangasana. I don't like to teach it without blankets, but I will show you the half variation where we take the hips up and then support just the buttocks and kind of just hold the legs here in this half variation. It's kind of like a plow, pike variation type thing. Very safe for the neck compared to the full thing. Even lift the legs a little higher and then roll yourself out. Now it's my favorite time, my absolute favorite time, final spinal twist. Oh my gosh, it feels so good. So open your arms out to the side, cross right ankle over left knee, or a deeper twist, you could cross knee over knee and let your legs go over to the left. Oh my gosh, I love it. I could just do this for half an hour at the end. Maybe next month's video, next week's video or whatever. Just a half an hour of twisting. And come back to center. Change sides. Come back to center. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Okay, now we have an option for Shavasana today. This is something that I've been doing. I'm really enjoying it because of the hip opening it provides. Like I started to notice like my groins are getting really tight. I wasn't doing enough Baddha Konasana. And I used to practice this every day for like a half an hour. This is before I had a family and responsibilities. I just did yoga for 4 hours every day. I could do all the crazy poses. Anyway, I should stay present. Okay, but the point is that I used to practice this, and the hip opening provided like really helped me with a lot of the poses. So I'm going to suggest that we try this in Shavasana today, where you kind of just lightly prop your legs with the blocks so that the legs get tricked into relaxing. It's such a sneaky trick. You don't want to have the blocks so wide to where you feel your groins or your hips straining, but just enough to where it's like a little stretch, but they can relax into the blocks. And we'll just relax there for 30 seconds. And then you'll feel the trick that comes. Like, oh, they start to open up. And then you can see like, could I take them a little wider? Oh, look at that. Okay. And then we're just going to commit to that position. And then if you like, you could take the arms into a goalpost position, or if your shoulders are tighter and your hands don't quite touch the floor, if you don't have extra blocks, you just put your fingertips on the foam roller. But I usually find many people could just put their hands right onto the floor. It's no biggie. Surfers have to do this. Surfers and jiu-jitsu guys, sometimes they get tight shoulders, they tell me. Let yourself slip into the inner quiet. One of the ways that the approach towards awakening has been described is approaching the void within. And for many, it could be scary, but to be okay with it and to go right into the void. That's the one way that the path towards awakening has been described. So what's past your physical body, what's past your ideas about spirituality or awakening, all your concepts, all the things that you identify with, what's past that? Plunge deeper inward into that. And then slowly start to bring yourself back up to the surface. Bring the knees together. Oh. Roll over to your side. And then press up. Shoulders feel open, hips feel open. So just take a moment to notice how your body feels, like there's a weight been lifted off of it. Like there's so much space. Notice the quality of your breath. There's more space for the breath. The breath can move with ease. And then we say in yoga that as with the breath, so with the mind. So if there's freedom for the breath, it feels like there's freedom for the mind. You're not bogged down with the common fluctuations that tend to pull us out of being present. You can feel like you can be very present here in your body, and it feels nice. Thank you. Namaste. So thanks so much for joining me in this video today. I hope you enjoyed it. You know, I read a few comments in the Facebook community group, which I read those, and I really appreciate you guys being active on that. It gives me good feedback as to what's going on with you in your practice. But like a month ago, I noticed that there was like a rash of comments like, how often is this guy posting? There hasn't been any videos. And I just want to apologize to you guys for that, because when I was making the arm balance series, I really fell behind trying to get that whole arm balance series together. But it's together now, and I'm releasing it like every other week. So in addition to that, you're going to be getting the videos that you're getting on a monthly basis. So just more content for you to kind of pay back for that. And I really appreciate your support for sticking with me. And that's it. I hope that you enjoy what you're seeing here, that you're learning. And as usual, let me know what you'd like to see in the future. If you have ideas for other courses, I appreciate it. And I'll see you next time. Have a great day.